Our guest speaker today is Joel Frater, Executive Dean of MCC's Downtown Campus, which just opened this past fall. Located in the High Falls District, the new campus was designed with significant input from students. Today we'll hear how the campus is expected to help MCC attract new students, increase college completion rates, and impact the community at large. Please join me in welcoming Joel Frater to our podium.
Good afternoon. It is great to be here. Whenever I get an opportunity to talk about MCC's downtown campus, I usually describe it as my James Brown moment. What is a James Brown moment? I feel good. I'm not going to start singing and dancing, but I feel good. Do you feel good? Absolutely. It is, as I said, a pleasure to be here and to be talking about a community college. And I'm going to emphasize community because that means something in our name. It means something in our behavior. It means something in how we welcome our community to be a part of us. This institution has been a labor of love from its inception. Our downtown campus is built on all those core principles that are grounded in MCC's values and vision and mission. And we try to live that spirit in all we do. So I'm extremely, extremely pleased to be able to share with you a part of what makes MCC a true community asset, our downtown campus. And to be in this iconic downtown space adds even some extra touches to this experience and to what I'm going to be sharing with you today. And to be able to frame this conversation in an educational context is also very important to us. And I was just having a conversation with a retired teacher. Thank you for having been a teacher and having contributed so much to our community. And you also went to Jamaica, and I'm from Jamaica. So you are now on my favorite persons list. That easy. But that's what we do. We build community. A college is transactional. What happens in a college community is transformational. So what I'm going to share with you today is going to take you through certain transactional elements of MCC. But most importantly, I want you to leave here having a good sense of what it means to be transformational in our community. And that's what MCC is about. That is what this downtown campus is about. So I'm going to walk you through some PowerPoint slides today, because it's always good to have a visual. And there's a saying that a picture tells 1,000 words. And I can tell you I have many, many pictures, of this campus. But I joined MCC 2.5 years ago, and I serve as executive dean for the downtown campus. Prior to that, I spent 20 years at SUNY Brockport. So Rochester is not unfamiliar to me, but the MCC experience has been extraordinary because MCC has this unique way of touching people where it matters most. And that is what I mean when I talk about transformation versus transaction. And we'll get into more examples of this. So the topic today is Urban Community College Design and Operation, a catalyst for neighborhood transformation. Neighborhood transformation. Many of you are aware of the history of MCC, and you're aware of controversial issues around the development of a downtown campus. Any confession in the room? Yes. You have intimate knowledge about the process. But good things come to those who wait. You see, if Rent Square had happened, it would have been an old building by now. You probably wouldn't be talking about MCC today. But what we have created is very timely. And it came at a moment when our community needed it. It came at a moment when our students needed it. It came at a moment when all of higher education needed it. So, MCC had a temporary location in the Sibley building. It's now called the Sibley Square. It's right across the street. In 2013, we purchased the Kodak property that's on State Street. A lot of people say to me, how did you manage to buy the Kodak headquarters? We did not purchase the Kodak headquarters. We purchased a piece of the Kodak headquarters. So we purchased about 50,000 square feet, just about. And we were able to transform that physical space into our new campus. Now, it is extremely meaningful to be able to build on the Kodak legacy, because we know what the Kodak legacy has meant for Rochester. We know what it's meant for people sitting in this room. We know what it's meant in the context of community building. And to be able to build on that legacy for us has been extraordinary. When Kodak's current CEO toured our building, he was inspired and extremely complimentary about the vision and where he sees us taking that iconic place to. And by you being here tells me you're committed to sharing in that vision as well. So we broke ground on the new campus in 2015, $78 million. Sounds like a lot of money, doesn't it? But this money was only able to develop about half of the building, because you know construction cost is extremely high. However, we believe this has been money well spent. You were a part of it. Your tax money helped to make this happen. And this, as I'll show you throughout the presentation, has been an extremely good investment for us. So we developed 255,000 square feet of the total square footage that's there, which is about 500,000 square feet. We've created simulation labs because we know students learn by doing. We've created collaborative learning spaces throughout the building. We have accessible parking, we have transportation. And I'll illustrate how we were able to create partnership to allow access to our students, to this campus. Now, when we commit $78 million of taxpayers' money, we have to do so grounded in principles. And these principles are, 1, we had to have delivered our project on time. because time is money. 2, on budget. You heard about the big dig, right? How long did it take? And even after that, it was still substandard, right? The big dig. And it had to be of high quality. See, when we're investing this type of money, we have to be held accountable. You know, I say of the project manager from the county, Reinhard Selmayr, I always say of him, this is a man with a gentle soul, because he always gives second chances. And you know how he gave second chances? Whenever a contractor messed up on something, they had to redo it. That was his definition of second chances. You got to redo this. It's not up to standard. And that was the diligence we paid to this project. So, accountability. That is what really, that was the underpinning of our commitment, to this project. Somebody had to be responsible. And there was a notion that the buck stops here, right? Our president was intensely involved with this project. Monroe County, from the county executive all the way down, fully committed to this project. They held us to the highest standards. They held every contractor to the highest standards. And that's important when it comes to public funded projects. Very, very important. Here are some, and I know this is going to be a question next. What programs do you offer there? So, you know what? I just preempted you. So I'm going to give it to you. So we have what I would consider a nationally ranked workforce development program. It's housed in that campus. So we have our economic development and innovative workforce services. They spend extensive amounts of effort in doing skills gap analyses, training, folks in the corporate sector, equipping people with the necessary job skills. And that is what drives an economy. And MCC is committed in this area. We have human services. So students who are interested in social work, counseling, they study in this area. And this is a list of the various academic programs, addictions counseling. And nothing is needed more than addictions counseling at this moment in our community. And this is what MCC does. It responds to a community need. And it makes a commitment. It's nimble enough to ensure our students are ready for 21st century workforce needs. So we've been very responsive. So we have various degrees that are terminal, but they're degrees where students can transfer to other institutions as well. Education, and I know we have teachers in this room, and MCC is committed to preparing teachers and getting folks the necessary start to transfer to four-year institutions, to be in the classroom working alongside other teachers. MCC provides a jump start. So we have liberal arts and science, early childhood education, various science education, early care, you name it. It runs the gamut. These opportunities exist, and all of these are on the downtown campus. Criminal justice, law, those programs are also housed downtown. Our corrections program or paralegal studies, all these programs are there as well. Advanced studies, and these are students who have the aptitude to do honors courses. They can be taking a collection of courses from any major, but they have the opportunity to do advanced work. And what we do is try to provide them this intellectual space for all of this to happen. So, another question I anticipated, so what's the enrollment downtown? See? And I can show you that the last official count, there were 2,054 students who take classes at the downtown campus. And we expect to grow this number. We certainly have the capacity to grow this number. And we're constantly exploring other opportunities for academic offerings. At this moment, we're looking at some health-related programs for the downtown campus. And this is another example of how we are responding to community needs. And we don't do these explorations in isolation. We look at our partners from Rochester Regional Health, from Strong, to really do a critical analysis of the market needs so we can respond to what our community needs. So this graph sort of shows enrollment trends. As you know, throughout New York, throughout our high schools, there's been an enrollment decline. There's been a population decline in all of Western New York. And most of our students are from this region. And MCC is not immune when it comes to this challenge. So over the years, we see our enrollment fluctuating and, in fact, declining in general. We've been fortunate in that for the last census data for downtown campus, we were able to maintain steady enrollment, which is an indication that our location, our new campus, our program mix is appealing to students. And we hope to continue along that trend line. So, let's go back to that $78 million, because I know that's weighing heavily on people's minds. $78 million? Because whenever some people ask me, how much did it cost? And I say $78 million, people say, oh, that's a lot of money. It is a lot of money, but it's money well spent. So Monroe Community College plays a significant role in the local economy. Students benefit from improved lifestyle and increased earnings. There's something called the multiplier impact. For every dollar you spend on a student, how much do you gain in terms of added value? And MCC is able to measure those things. Taxpayers benefit from a larger economy and a lower social cost. What do we know about people who are educated versus those who are not educated? What do we know about the relationship between education and crime, for example? We know that individuals who are educated are less prone to committing crime. Now, there's a social cost when crime escalates in a community. So the way we measure impact is not always direct. We have to look at the social cost as well. And we know that education helps to mitigate the social cost in a community. And that is something MCC is committed to. As an open access institution, we have built capacity to take the student who would otherwise be considered at risk and make that person an individual who has acquired skills and knowledge to make a difference in society. See, there's one thing to send an A student to Harvard and graduate an A student. it's a different thing to send a D student to MCC and graduate a B student. That to me is more impactful. And that is what MCC is about. It's about that transformation. It's about finding that diamond in the rough and making a difference. That's what I'm proud about when I speak of MCC. So when I talk about my James Brown moments, I have many of those every day. Many of those because of what we see in the transformation among our students. Here's some information. MCC's downtown campus alone has a combined economic impact of $105.4 million. We have 218 full-time and part-time employees. Downtown campus students earn 15.5% rate of return on their investment in MCC. The average downtown campus student's income increases by $4 for every dollar invested. That is a great investment. For every dollar of this support, taxpayers see a return of $4.20 in the form of higher tax receipts and social savings. State and local governments see an annual rate of return of 12.9% on their support for the MCC downtown campus. That is why it's worth spending $78 million, and it would have been worth spending twice that amount or 3 times that amount, because it is an investment. It is an investment. And when we're able to build capacity among our people, we are truly able to transform a community. And that is what we're about. So, as I said, we're a part of a community. We're located in High Falls. There's one thing we know about High Falls, other than the fact that it was supposed to have been the entertainment district. I don't want to bring that up. But it is now a part of the Eco District. And MCC is fortunate to be located in High Falls. And we know the value of environmental stewardship. And that is a commitment MCC holds dearly. So, look at this beauty. When you come for the tour, so I'm inviting all of you to take a tour of the campus. When you come from the tour, for your tour, you'll be able to view High Falls from that building. This is where we are. It is about being a part of the community. In High Falls, we have Greentopia. Now, this is that bridge that goes over to the brewery. Right? It is not only a bridge. It's used for unique events. This is Dinner on the Bridge by Greentopia. MCC is intimately involved with these kinds of community activities because we're committed to our values of building community and sharing the experience and being involved with environmental stewardship. That is why we support these initiatives. It's about building community. The Eco Festival that takes place in High Falls, MCC is an intimate part of that experience as well. Has anyone ever been to the summer concert series in High Falls? MCC is a sponsor of that event and will be a sponsor this year again. In fact, one of those concerts will be in our building. Don't miss it. I'll be looking for you. But this is about partnerships. It's about community building. It's about inviting the community to share in our intellectual experiences. and it's about extending our intellectual capital to the rest of the community. And that is how we truly build a community. So in keeping with the theme of environmental stewardship, MCC's downtown campus is a LEED Gold certified building. Yes, it is a LEED Gold certified building. And people ask, what is LEED Gold? That is a very highly rated standard of environmental stewardship. And to have transformed an old building into a LEED Gold building took commitment. It took some dollars too, I must confess. Took some dollars, but I'll tell you why it was worth it again. So it is an educational institution, and the fact that we're LEED Gold certified means that we have a unique opportunity to educate our students. So throughout the building, you'll see plaques like these, and these have become a teaching and learning tool for our students as we talk about environmental education. We talk about energy efficiency. We take the students out of the classroom into this living, learning lab that is our campus. And that is the experience we're trying to create for our students. We have, in fact, there are 4 green roofs on this building. This one is on the 5th floor. Looks like a park because you can actually go out there. There's a deck. It is exquisite. This is an urban campus, but we've created this outdoor space that is not only a place for relaxation, but it is also a place for learning. Because if you look at the vegetation that's on that deck, yes, this becomes a part of our science courses. Yeah, imagine being in a class where you're talking about plant ecology. It's right there. So, we spent $680,000 to earn LEED Gold certificate for this building. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Was worth every cent. So there's a projected annual saving of $117,000 because of the energy efficient features that were put in using that $680,000. We should see a full return on this investment in only 6 years. We use 25% less energy and 40% less water because of these features in the building. That, to me, is a great investment. And this is a part of the value system we're trying to instill in our students. We have to start being responsible today, and we have to teach that level of responsibility. We have to behave in responsible ways as well. And we have to be committed to an investment. There's a saying that commitment without currency is counterfeit. Yes. So we've made a commitment to environmental stewardship, but we've made an investment in environmental stewardship. And we will see a return on that investment. So we won an award for the building. Yes, we won an award. The Genesee Valley branch of the American Public Works Association voted our project the top project. So we are already seeing a return on that investment. The project has been validated by others, and that is important. So, remember I talked about the transaction. So we've put up the building, you've seen the transactional piece. Let's talk about the transformation, which is about the student experience. So we had been in the Sibley building for 26 years, and there were people who started in the Sibley building. Now, do you think we could just walk out of the Sibley building without managing change? We had to manage change. In fact, it became a therapeutic exercise in some instances. Yes. So, welcome to High Falls. So that's where we moved to. Now, in moving from the Sibley building to where we are today, we plan what we call the 321 walk. Now, 321 is the address of the new campus, 321 State Street. So it sort of served as a countdown. And on the last day of classes in the building, students, faculty, staff, the community, county executive, mayor, everybody came out. You can see our president there. You can see Cheryl Dinalfo there on the right. See? Probably have met this person. That's me. These are our students, deputy county executive. They all came out. And they became a part of this transition. It's about preparing us to move into this new era. And that was very important for our students. So our president talking. So our countdown clock. And it's about being prepared for the student experience. Because we know this is where real transformation happens. First day of classes in the building. It's a buzz. Grand opening in September. All the dignitaries showing up to be a part of that experience. So what is the fuss about? It's a building, right? It's just a building. I'm going to show you what the fuss is about. So this is our welcome center when you walk into the building. There's one entrance to the building. And what we've committed ourselves to creating a welcoming environment. Anybody who walks in, you walk up to a welcome center. Now, how many of you worked in the Kodak building? So you worked there. Some of you are familiar with what it looked like before. So when you walk in now, this is an atrium that goes all the way up to the third floor. From the first to the third. That's a part of the transformation. It's an open concept. From the first to the third floor. We know we're not a residential campus. When a student comes to class, if you have a 9 o'clock class and your next class isn't until 3 o'clock, what's going to happen to you? We want to encourage students to spend as much time as possible on campus. So we've created open spaces, great furniture for students to relax, interact with technology, Wi-Fi throughout, electronic displays throughout. There are places on campus where a student could just walk up and plug their computer into a port, and they're projecting their work on a screen right in the hallway. Very important. A view of the neighborhood. That glass window you see there, that's one of the windows that's helping to create that energy saving by limiting the amount of ultraviolet light that comes into the building. When I went to college, I used to go to the library to study. You remember those days? At our downtown campus, you go to something called the Learning Commons. The Learning Commons houses the library, it houses tutoring services, and it houses technology services. It's a combination of things. Remember, there was a time when you went to the library and you couldn't talk. You had to be quiet. Now the library is a place where you can talk. See? and you can interact. Yes, we've evolved, and we're responding to the needs of our students. This is a part of that whole learning commons. Those are tutoring rooms. So it's open, yet it gives you privacy. You can still be quiet. See all these? These are the walls in there. But these are walls you can write on. They're called whiteboards. And that's what we've created for students. This is one of the science labs. Talk about places to collaborate. This is one of the hallways. You notice we have monitors here, monitor there. We call it the collaboratory because we're encouraging community building. We're encouraging students to work in teams because we know research shows that collaboration yields better outcomes. This is our student lounge. So for the student, and as I said, these are commuter students. They spend a lot of time on campus. We have to give them spaces for them to relax so they can continue to learn. So we talked about the student experience earlier, partnerships, RTS. We have a partnership with RTS that allows MCC students to ride certain buses by just showing their ID. And the student isn't exchanging $1. That is transformative. That is transformative. We have, you work with a city school district. We have teachers here. We have a unique partnership with the Rochester City School District where Rochester Early College International High School students are housed on our campus. All their 11th graders and 12th graders reside on the MCC downtown campus. They take college courses right there on that campus. They take some high school courses as well on that campus. We're immersing them in this college experience at an early age. And that, again, is transformative. We have Save for Success, another unique program where students are encouraged to save, work and save. It's about creating a habit, financial literacy. By working and saving, the students' saving is matched 8-to-1 toward their tuition. So a student who saves $375 will get that matched 8 times toward their tuition. And that's a unique partnership as well that's available to our students. Dreamkeepers, another unique partnership. Dreamkeepers is about making dreams come true. Imagine a student who runs into a financial emergency. You're about to be evicted. You have a flat tire. Dreamkeepers comes to your rescue by providing you a micro grant, not a loan. You don't ever have to pay it back. But you can get up to $500 to get you out of that trouble, that bind you're in at that moment. And it keeps you in school. And the numbers are here to prove us right. 85%, 88%, 87% retention among those students. You compare that group with the rest of MCC, that's about 61%. To me, this is success. This is what transformation looks like. This is what we're committed to. Single Stop is another partnership. Imagine students lacking the knowledge about what is available to them in the community. What resources are out there that, if accessed, would allow you to remain in school. Single Stop helps to connect students to resources they're eligible for. So, I'm right at the end. But as I said earlier, we are a college, but we are a community college, and we are your community college. So I really thank you for listening, and I hope you'll continue to be a part of this journey with us.